Most marketing agencies and consultants treat the intro sales call as a glorified sales presentation rather than a genuine human to human conversation. I'm talking about high pressure, borderline sleazy sales questions, cherry picked case studies, and probably worst of all, overly designed pitch decks that manage to say very little of substance over the course of 20 to 30 slides. Me personally, however, I like to take the exact opposite approach. Whenever I hold this intro strategy call with a prospective client to discuss a potential branding, website, or marketing project engagement, I treat it much more like a genuine discovery session where I take the time to actually learn more about the prospective client's business, background, marketing, and sales goals, and then based on everything they tell me, map out a game plan in terms of how I can help them, or if I can't help them, still do my best to provide them with the actual genuine advice I wish I had if I was in their shoes. So in this video, I want to pull back the curtain a bit and explain to you exactly what this intro strategy call looks like when I hold them with my clients. If you're a fellow marketing consultant or an agency owner, there's definitely going to be a bunch of stuff you can implement in your process here. And if you're a CEO or marketing director contemplating booking a call with me, this is exactly what you can expect. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Bailey Canning. I'm an independent full stack marketing strategist based in Denver, Colorado, working with my clients on branding engagements, web design and development projects, and ongoing marketing retainers. Whenever I hop on one of these intro strategy calls with a prospective client, I always explain that the first half of the conversation is going to be me asking a series of questions so I can learn more about the background of their company, its industry, and the core services it provides, as well as more information on the clients and customers they actually provide those services or products to. So the first half of the conversation is very information gathering because, like I said in the intro, I have nothing to pitch. Rather, I need to learn, first of all, about the client's business and background. And I also try to get to know the other person on a human level because at the same time, while I'm sure they're evaluating me, also I'm evaluating the prospective clients on the other end, because if I can tell right from the start that they're not going to be easy to work with, if they're not going to be conscientious and courteous, if I can just tell they're going to be a bad fit right away, then why would I ever want to sell myself into that bad client relationship? And I'm also evaluating their company to ensure that I can actually deliver marketing and sales results for them, because the last thing I want to do is sell myself into a ditch. So I'm not trying to get involved in any sort of client projects where I don't know if I can deliver results for them. I've only got so many client roster spots, so to speak. So I'm really optimizing for quality, not quantity, and that's why I can afford to be very selective with who I work with. As part of the background, I also take time to learn more about their marketing and sales goals, because based on what their objectives are, they don't always know what they actually need to achieve that. So many times I'll have clients come to me looking for a website project, but it actually turns out that they need to take an entire step back and really rethink their brand strategy from the ground up, map out the exact sort of client avatars that they're looking to reach, and just do a bunch of other brand strategy work before they're ready to actually design and develop a high-performing website, and certainly before they're actually looking to pursue a consistent marketing strategy online. Now, generally ahead of time, I have a pretty good indicator if a client is looking more for branding, website, marketing help, or a combination of those, or even all three. At a certain point, I will always make an effort to really probe into the details. So I'm always trying to figure out what exactly the company is already doing from a marketing perspective to see if that's working or it's not. And I'm also trying to get a little bit more under the hood in terms of understanding their exact sales situation. So what does the entire funnel look like? How is the sales cycle structured? Who are the client avatars they're trying to reach? Who are the decision makers they're regularly interacting with? Because at the end of the day, while I am helping them with branding and their website and their marketing, really I'm trying to position myself as a consultant who can help them actually generate leads and sales ultimately. So the marketing work is like the first half of the entire sales process, but I'm trying to see from the start what levers we can actually pull from a brand and marketing perspective so that they're actually able to generate leads and grow revenue for their company. Now, speaking of revenue, it becomes essential for both parties in the early going to get a clear understanding of what the budget for the engagement actually is. This way, there's no awkwardness and we're not going to be wasting people's time. So based on everything the client is telling me, and generally based on the form they have to fill out to even book the meeting, I'm then very clear with them and telling them exactly how much it's going to cost and what I think the best payment structure for the engagement is going to be, whether that's hourly billing for more like Webflow development work or consulting work, or if it's going to be more flat-based billing for a full-on project engagement or some sort of monthly recurring retainer. Long story short, you really don't want to wrap up this call not having any idea what the budget or pricing for the project is going to be. Doesn't matter what side of the conversation you're at, both parties deserve to know exactly how much it's going to cost. If they're budget qualified at this point, I will go ahead and map out exactly what I think they should do. So that includes at a very high level, mapping out the brand strategy, mapping out what I think a website would look like in terms of the minimal viable product. So what exactly can we get live in a 2 to 3 month period to really start driving results when it comes to our future marketing efforts. Sometimes they don't need a website, sometimes they don't need a brand plan, sometimes they can just go right into marketing. All of this is very case by case sensitive. But the key thing here is that once I've actually taken the time to learn more about their business, then I actually map out a game plan. After I present the game plan, as long as they're relatively sold on that, then I will actually map out what that would look like in terms of a scope of work. This is very important because many times I will send over a proposal right after this call, and the proposal is going to outline the entire scope of work in terms of the deliverables based on the key phases or channels of the project. But I don't want them to ever get to the proposal portion and look over the deliverables and the scope of work and just have no idea what I'm talking about. When it comes to the proposal, basically you just want to restate everything that was agreed upon in the initial sales call. Now, sometimes I have to hold a follow-up sales call. That's going to be pretty typical for a more complex project or when there's more project stakeholders involved. And sometimes both parties just want to get to know each other a bit more. So I think that's totally fine. But sometimes we move right into the proposal. And hopefully at this point in the video, you're getting a sense that there's no one size fits all process here. Everything is very case by case basis. And I think it's important for both parties to be flexible here. But basically, I do look to outline a clear deliverable roadmap. That way they know everything that's going to be involved with the project, and they have the opportunity, of course, to ask me questions about anything I think needs to be included and whether or not it's absolutely necessary. Now, once we've got a loose scope of work in place, I then talk about the process. So this is obviously going to be different based on every single engagement, but let's just say the client already has a strong brand in place and you're looking to build out a new website. I will then detail every single stage of the process. This way, again, they know exactly what they're going to be getting into and they have the opportunity to ask any questions about the process and what it would entail. Oftentimes, we're going to be working together quite closely, so it's very important that they have proper expectations in terms of what the professional process looks like and what their role is going to be in it. Finally, I then tell them exactly what the timeline is going to look like. As you can see, it's a lot of information we have to get in about a 30 to 45 minute time frame. Then at the end, basically, we usually have a couple minutes left for open-ended questions. I'll do my best to answer those. And then either we need to schedule a follow-up meeting with maybe additional project stakeholders or just to drill down into more details, or perhaps they're ready to move forward right away. Now, if they're ready to get started right away, I will send over a proposal shortly. It's a very thorough document, but then I'll also do a screen recording presentation over it just to walk through the key areas of the proposal. This way, there's just a lot more context and I can add a lot more of a personal touch to the entire sales process here at the end. And then from there, it's very simple. They can digitally sign the proposal. After that, I need to also send over a more formal official contract, but it basically just restates everything that's in the proposal anyway. Then they sign that, the project invoice, the deposit gets paid, and then we're basically set up to go and hit the ground running. So that's what my sales process looks like. Very off the cuff video here. And like I said, there's a lot of variance in it. They're always a bit different. They're a bit improvised, which is actually part of the fun for my end at least. But again, it's all about the mindset. So you need to go in open-minded, genuinely trying to learn more about the company, the person you're speaking with, and see if you can actually help them out. If you're a fellow agency owner or marketing consultant, I highly advise you to take this exact approach, because I can tell you the majority of agencies are taking the opposite, very pressurized sales approach. And who wants that, quite honestly? It just seems very stressful and unnecessary for me. No, thank you. I'll pass. Like I said at the start, if you're a CEO, if you're a marketing director, if you're considering a branding, website development project, or ongoing marketing retainer, whether you've been following my channel for a while here or you just found me and are looking to start an engagement, I invite you to schedule a strategy call just like I discussed here, and we will go through this entire process. I will take the time to learn all about your company, its industry, its competitors, and based on everything you tell me, help you outline a concrete branding, website, and digital marketing game plan so that you can actually grow your awareness online, generate leads, and of course, grow revenue and achieve any marketing or sales goal you have out there. If that sounds interesting to you, check out the link in the description. There's an interactive 5-question video form. If you're qualified, you'll be able to book time directly on my calendar. And if you do, I look forward to speaking with you. So that's the video for today. Thank you for watching. Bye.